What are you waiting for? You want to go out? It's cold outside. What's the temperature outside? Let's see. Accurate, which is not really right, says 27. It's kind of chilly. Oh, interesting sky. We have Cirrus, leading edge of warmer air, trying to come right back in after a quick batch of cold. We've got ocean effect clouds, which the NAM says will generate snowflakes today here in eastern Massachusetts. And once it starts snowing today, it's going to be snowing somewhere in New England for the most part through Saturday. Interesting waves in the sky. You get the waves way up there at 30, 40,000 feet. Those are old contrails. But as we know, most of the planes were grounded this morning, Logan Airport included. What about the planes that were in the air? Well, they've left traces, one going off into the Atlantic, others going north-south, and then you've got these stratified layers, columns, rows of cumulus clouds. These are the ocean effect clouds with the waning crescent wolf moon right in there. Low tide right now. And let's check all the thermometers. Guess how many thermometers I have now? I get a lot. This one says 25 something, which makes sense. There's a little bit of an inversion. Up there on the roof, there's a Tempest, which said about 26. And it also said that this morning at 24.8, it was the coldest reading I've had so far this year. And inside the house, I have a Vantage that said 26. And then I've also got one on the kitchen window that said about 26. So I think it's about 26 degrees. Mary, though, in Colebrook, New Hampshire, tweeted out, "This is how it's supposed to be in winter. 7 below zero in Colebrook, New Hampshire. And we have the coldest weather in the United States here in New England this morning." Not saying much. It's kind of a separate entity from all the rest of the weather that's happening in the United States, which is mostly governed by that parade of Pacific storms pushing tremendous amounts of water and high elevation snow into California. You've read all about it. And that pushes warm air across much of the nation. It also sends waves of energy coming across the nation. But this cold high-pressure system that we have right now came down from northern Quebec. And so the coldest weather in much of North America is in Quebec this morning and in northern New England with that sub-zero air. Mount Washington's about 5 with a wind of only 15 miles an hour. I shared a picture of New England's tallest mountains, shared pictures of New England's tallest mountains on Twitter this morning. Katahdin, Mount Washington, and Mount Mansfield. All very wintry with light wind today. It's a beautiful ski day. You know what I say about beautiful Wednesdays? That usually means something bad's going to happen on a Saturday. But this week it's going to happen more on a Friday. Anyhow, lots going on. How's the ice in the bucket? Looks pretty solid. I might have to go down and check the frog pond for ice. Slight chance on some of the most shallow frog ponds. I might be able to go skating for a minute tomorrow morning. Increasing clouds today, a couple of snowflakes in eastern Massachusetts, ocean effect snow. The atmosphere is just cold enough with the differential between the water temperature near 40 and the 5,000 foot temperature near about 10. So there's your 30-degree gradient in the lowest 5,000 feet, and there's a onshore flow. So these clouds are going to build. We're going to have a couple of snowflakes today, and then it's going to start snowing from the western system coming in from the west. So we're going to have snowflakes coming at us from the east and the west today and tomorrow. And then tomorrow by midday, it should be snowing in much of inland and western New England. And that snow, initially, it should be dry and fluffy as it's a cold high-pressure system. High pressure is dense air, so it's going to have a difficult time being dislodged by the warmer air. But this storm is forecast to kind of intensify. Once again, it weakened over the plains and then it intensifies and moves up to the St. Lawrence River Valley. So the rain-snow line is going to push into Montreal. I've been doing this J-Peak blog, and I said it looks like a net gain of about 4 to 7 inches of snow with maybe about 4/10 of an inch of rain that should come in Thursday night into early Friday. I'm going to do a more specific snowcast later today, and then we're going to turn colder and drier somewhat on Saturday, but their upper level low is going to linger, and there could be some mixed showers in southern New England. If you look at the Boston forecast here for the next few days, you see that spike on Friday. So seasonable chill today, tomorrow, Friday gets warm, seasonable chill Saturday and Sunday. So you add them all up and divide by 5, and you got pretty much normal weather with a warm spike. So we do have cold around, but every time there's a storm coming at us, it wants to run up to the west, and it looks like that may happen again next week. At least we have something a little different going on right now. These high pressure systems are going to our north, so it's going to be a little more difficult to dislodge the chill. I've talked about that a lot. When the high goes to your north, the counterclockwise flow sends that air in from the north and east, and you get that cold air damming, and then it gets routed out, and you got to build it back up. But there is going to be another high going to our north here Monday, Tuesday, so we may get another sort of small event next Tuesday or so with some snow in our mountains. Today, beautiful ski day. There's hardly any wind. Today is the best day we've had so far this year for skiing, I think. Well, unless you count some of that localized powder. Lincoln in the Adirondacks sharing his photo from last Tuesday and this Tuesday. He says, what a recovery. So there is some winter to be had. And, everyone's throwing in the towel on winter. Don't throw in the towel. Come on, it's only January 11th, and you remember what happened in 15? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but as of this point in 2014-15, we had only had a couple of inches of snow. This is not going to be a repeat of that winter, though. All the signals were that was going to turn incredibly snowy. There are no signals like that happening right now. There are some signs there will be a cross-polar flow setting up with some colder air coming in the second, third, and fourth weeks of January, but the signals are already for a mild February. So we take it where we can get it. What should I leave you with? You want to see some daffodils in the front yard? See if I can get a better look at the ocean effect clouds. How about some Christmas lights? Is it too late for Christmas lights? I was holding out because I wanted it to snow on them, but my wife says, taking the lights down, taking the trees down. I hear you, dear. Come on out, Steve. Let's check the garden. Let's do a little gardening. Middle of January. I can't remember the last time we did not have daffodils coming up at this time of year. They'll be fine. There'll be snowing on them at some point. It's not going to not snow forever, right? Will it snow today? Maybe. Those are ocean effect clouds starting to gather as the air comes in more from the east. Those should thicken up, and hopefully we'll have a little snow in the air so I can do my snowcast today. And what about Christmas lights? I am a proponent of keeping Christmas lights up for a while, at least until it snows. Come on, one little snowstorm. Is that too much to ask?